Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Margaret with Margaret Money, and today we're going to talk about the highly anticipated budgeting video. I've had more questions about budgeting than I have anything else, and so I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about how my husband and I budget, kind of what our budget looks like, and how we apply any leftover money that we have to our debt. This is one of the biggest parts of baby step 2, is to apply any extra dollars you have to your debt. That's what gets the snowball going, and that's what frees up your money to be able to put towards your debt. So a lot of you may be thinking, at the end of the month, I don't have any money left, so I don't understand how I'm supposed to put any of this towards debt. That's kind of what I was thinking too. But once you get yourself on a budget, you'll free up a lot of your money and be able to apply it straight to your debt. So let's just jump right into our budget. First of all, a lot of people ask, how do you come up with a budget? What tools do you use? So I want to show you exactly how my husband and I do it. We have a weekly budget meeting. Sometimes it's bi-weekly. It depends on the month and what's going on that month. But we have our weekly budget meeting. We usually have it at night after our kids are asleep. And we just sit down at our kitchen table. And Dave Ramsey jokes that in every marriage, there's a nerd and a free spirit. I am the free spirit, my husband is the nerd in our relationship. And so he prefers to keep our budget in an Excel document. So if you're really good at numbers and you really are tech savvy and want to use Excel, that's a great tool. I'm a little more into pen to paper. I like to doodle, and I like to have a paper version of everything. It makes me feel really comfortable to have one of each. So we have it saved digitally, and then we have it also a paper copy of everything. But what we do is we bought this file thing off of Amazon, and there's a tab for every month. So this is what we actually use. That's our budget from January, February, and so on. And so we keep all of our documents in this. I will link this below in my description box. So if you want to buy one off of Amazon, they're super cheap. We use that right there. And then, like I said, I just use a plain old piece of paper. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what our budget looks like. This is just an example. Every week our budget does not look like this. In fact, our budget usually looks about half this much, but I just wanted to explain to you what it could look like and what some of our categories are, because we get a lot of questions about things like that. So first of all, if you do your budget weekly like we do, but this can be applied to monthly, however you would like to do it, you're going to write down what bills do you have due. So you'll write in, power, water, your phone, your security system. These are just examples of what bills you may have due. And you're going to write the amount next to each of them. Then you're going to write what minimums do you owe to your debt. So do you have a minimum payment on a credit card, an auto loan, maybe a personal loan? You're going to write your minimums and how much it is. Say it's $100 a piece. You're going to write that right there. Then these are your budget categories, and this is where you'll use your cash envelopes. I'll get into cash envelopes in just a second. But say, for example, your categories are gas, groceries, Sam's Club, and childcare. Those are 4 of ours that we have almost every week. The reason I have groceries and Sam's Club split out, a lot of people include things like laundry detergent, paper products, diapers for their kids as groceries. We do not. When we say grocery, we usually mean actual food and things like that you would buy at a Kroger or an actual grocery store. And then everything that we get at Sam's is more like laundry detergent, paper products, household needs, things like that at Sam's. And then we have childcare. We have 2 children who are in childcare full-time because my husband and I both work full-time during the week. So childcare is a budget category for us. Then you're going to go into your sinking funds. I'm going to do a whole video on sinking funds, so don't get too caught up in this. But what a sinking fund is something that you're going to have to pay for at some point during the year, and you're going to go ahead and start saving for it now. So for example, we go on vacation with my entire family every summer. Thankfully, my dad pays for all of us to go on vacation. So even though Dave would say if you're paying off debt, you don't need to go on vacation, we don't really see this as paying for a vacation because my dad pretty much pays for everything. We just pay for our gas to get down there, and then we pay for a couple nights dinner and our food. So really, it's not too much more than what we would normally spend during the week. So we know that we're going to go on vacation this summer. So what you do is, say you're starting in January, if you know you're going to the beach in July, you need to divide out how much money you think you're going to need in July by 7 months. That's going to be until you go to the beach, or maybe even 6, so you know you have it, depending on when you're going to the beach. And you're gonna go ahead and divide that out, and then whatever that amount is, that's how much each month you need to put into your sinking fund. So things like Christmas are a good sinking fund, your kids' birthdays, your vehicles, you know you're gonna have to renew your tags, you know you're gonna have to get your oil changed. So you're gonna have your pets are gonna need their vaccines each year. So those are some things that you might have in sinking funds. And then this is kind of our little specials. Like every week this will look differently. Things like haircuts. Next month, our oldest son is going to start swim lessons. So that's something that's very special. It's only $45 a month, but it has to be in our budget because that's the whole point. If it's not in the budget, you cannot do it, according to Dave. And we are pretty strict to follow that. If you need a birthday gift, if your kids are invited to a birthday party and you're expected to bring a small gift, you need to put that in the budget. If you're doing any type of travel, even if it's just a day trip and you're going to need extra gas money, you need to be sure and put that in your budget. So after all of that is done, and again, you're not going to have this every single week, but I just wanted you to see what it might look like if you did have a huge budget, and some people might. Whatever is left, say it's only $200. That $200 you're going to apply to your debt snowball. So your debt snowball will probably already be going because you've knocked out one small debt and that freed up $100 a month. So this particular week, you're going to be able to add $200 to that already established $100 that you already have, and you're going to roll that, and you're going to be able to apply this week $300 to your next debt. So that's a little bit about budgeting. A lot of people ask me questions about mostly the grocery and gas budgets. How much do you have in it? So for our household, we use $100 a week in gas between my husband and myself, so for 2 vehicles. We do a lot of traveling and we both have to commute into work, so we use probably more gas than most people probably would. But in groceries, we only spend $100 a week, and we are a family of 4. However, we do have 2 very small children. So my oldest son, he pretty much eats what we eat. The things that we buy him that are special are not very expensive things, or things like yogurt pouches, fresh fruit, things like that. And then our baby is still breastfed, but we do supplement with formula as needed, and we buy that at Sam's Club in bulk, and we use the Members Mark brand, which is the cheapest brand out there. He's also had Similac, and we use that when it's available, but he's happy with the Members Mark brand, so we're happy with the Members Mark brand. So that's how much we spend on groceries, but again, like I said, we pull out all of our household stuff out of that. So if I need to get paper towels or anything that's not really, in my mind, a grocery item, we do have a separate budget for that. So my grocery budget is kind of small, but there's just 2 of us and a toddler that eats on that during the week. So the last thing I wanted to show you are just a couple other tools that I use to budget. This is a Plum paper planner. One of the add-ons that you can do for just $3 or $4 more is you can add a financial sheet or a bill payment sheet. I love this sheet because it says, what is your bill? When is it due? How much is it? And then it has a column to check it off as you pay it. So we use this to keep our bills straight each month, and we know each week what we need to pay that week. These are our sinking funds. They are literally in envelopes. It's a really cheap way to keep up with it, but you just take your sinking fund, maybe put how much you're going to put in it each month, and then you just put some cash in there. Some of our sinking funds are vehicles, our kids' clothes, my birthday, vacation, things like that. You can get these on Amazon, and they're a really easy and cheap way to keep up with your sinking funds. So I'm going to link this below in my description box as well if you want to check this out on Amazon and get you one. And then I have another one for our cash envelopes. I'm going to do a whole video on cash envelopes. I'm going to do a whole video on sinking funds, so more to come there. If you have any questions about budgeting, please leave them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click subscribe, the red button right there at the bottom of this video. And as always, all the credit goes to Dave Ramsey. That's where I've learned everything about budgeting, and his book, The Total Money Makeover, that we read and applied to our life, is below. So thanks for following our journey, and I'll see you in the next one.